Listen to how delusional this woman is. That's why I call her Kathy Crime Wave Hochul. Hochul, because she's full of nonsense.
For people who say they're going to leave our state because it's not safe, I'm going to say my next question, tell me the city you're going to, and I can guarantee we have a safe than you have in those other cities. Miami, Washington, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Chicago, even Salt Lake City and Austin. We are better off, but I'm not going to say that statistics should make people feel better. Let us keep doing our job and working hard to make sure that people
Shut
stop
up.
committing these.
Shut up. Let you do your job. Right? No cash bail. Turning the criminals loose. You a freaking moron, lady. You're claiming it's safer in New York City than Salt Lake City. Like I'm supposed to believe the Mormon Tabernacle Choir has been turned into a gang led by Donnie and Marie Osmond. What an idiot you are. It's too bad that Congressman didn't beat you because Zeldin, it was all about crime, this issue. And let me tell you what the facts are statewide in New York, and why the exodus continues, why people continue to move out in droves. Siena College poll. 61% of state residents of New York worry about being crime victims. Half worry about their safety in public places. 51% of New York State residents have been concerned about their or their family's safety in public places, including schools, stores, or houses of worship. And over a third, 36% of all New Yorkers have felt threatened over the past year in a public place by a stranger's behavior. A third throughout New York State. We're not talking just Buffalo. We're not talking New York City. We're talking in Leave It to Beaverland, Father Knows Best, Little House in the Prairie, areas where you're hard-pressed to find anybody around you. Nearly 1 in 10 New Yorkers has over the past year been physically assaulted. That's in New York State. And 10% have been the victim of a burglary. 40% have witnessed violent or threatening behavior, amongst others, in a public setting. That's in New York State. 41% said that they have never been this worried about their personal safety as they are today. And that includes people who lived through the 70s, the 80s, the age of crack. And you wonder why the exodus continues. 87% say crime is a serious problem in New York State, and 57% say it is a problem in their community. A disturbingly high 61% say that they are worried about it happening to them. A majority are concerned about themselves or their loved ones being safe in public places, and many are taking steps to protect themselves as best as they can. So how can you, Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb, be so delusional? But you're not alone. There's Eric Adams, swagger man with no plan, who sold himself to all of you as the law and order mayor. I told you he was a house mouse for 22 years in the police department. Never made a collar, never was proactive, but you didn't listen to me. So guess what? Now you got to suffer. As this guy has delusions of grandeur, thinking that God is guiding him, God is talking to him, and thinking that we're all schmucks, putzes, idiots, schmendricks, pishers, and that we have no idea what's going on in the city. He's amazed. He figures, why aren't you feeling safer?
So let me say to you, CCC, they want to paint this picture of ineptness and incompetence. But let me show you the record. You're watching crime go down in the city. No one thought it was possible.
Yeah, crime's going down in the city. You keep believing that. I'd like to know what dope you're smoking and what shrooms you're taking. Because in this same poll, New York City residents are more likely to see crime as a serious problem in their community and as a threat to them personally compared to those that live in other parts of New York State. 2 or more times more likely to have taken various measures to protect themselves, and that includes getting guns. Now, Lou, how are they getting guns in New York City? They're not getting them legally. They put a hold on all carry permits. So that means they're so desperate. They feel that they got to get an illegal handgun of some type, an illegal gun, and use it for the protection of their property, their place of business, their own person, their family, their friends. 16% of New York City residents have been physically assaulted over the last year. Do you hear that? 16% of New York City residents have been assaulted over the last year. 9% of New Yorkers and 16% of New York City residents have been the victim of burglary over the past 12 months. 16% of our fellow residents in the 5 boroughs have been victims of burglary. A full 38% have witnessed violent or threatening behavior, amongst others, in a public setting in New York City. Over half of those 18 to 34 have seen that type of behavior, as have 46% of those 35 to 49 and city residents, and 42% of men. Nearly as many, 36%, have felt threatened in a public place in New York City by a stranger's behavior, with that being true of half of young citizens and over 40% of city residents. 38% of New York City residents have felt threatened by the manner in which another person behaved in their car or other mode of transportation. 40% say it's the worst it's ever been. Ladies and gentlemen, you elected this guy, Eric Adams. You said he'd be the law and order guy. You said, hey, he's more moderate than those radicals, those leftists, those progressives, and he was a cop for 22 years. I told you he was a house mouse. He never walked the beat. He never was proactive. He never made collars. He never did physical interventions. In his own words, he was a disruptor in the police department. And that comes in full context from men and women who served with him. Blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians. Collectively, I've yet to come across a man or a woman who served at the same time of Eric Adams who said, you know, that guy had my back. That guy was an aggressive cop. That guy was making collars. That guy was looking for drugs. That guy was looking to break up gangs. Nothing. Never heard that. All they said is he was trying to disrupt the police department. So can I hear Eric Adams again, Lou? I want you to hear this delusional person who thinks that God talks to him on a regular basis as he rants. He's so angry because all of us don't believe the Pinocchio reality that he deals with. As we would say in Italian, he's a real chiacchierone.
So let me say to you, CCC, they want to paint this picture of ineptness and incompetence. But let me show you the record. You're watching crime go down in the city. No one thought it was possible.
Who sees that? But then again, what have I always told you? That's why at the start of every program I do here at WABC, it says, Curtis Sliwa is a politician who trusts no politicians, Republican or Democrat. They truly believe. And I've been in conversation with them where I've contradicted them, that you're all like sheep. You're just looking for the shepherd. You'll believe whatever the shepherd says to you. That you'll forget what they said to you 5 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 5 weeks ago, 5 months ago, 5 years ago, that you're all stunad, you're stupid. I know you're not stupid. I trust you, the people. I don't trust the politicians. And that's why you're seeing a proliferation of signs going up all throughout the 5 boroughs. Don't blame me. I voted for Curtis Sliwa.